Welcome back, everybody. My name is Nick930, and today we're going to be talking about Battlefield 1. Now, there was a huge live stream today featuring 64 players, including celebrities and some of the famous YouTube Battlefield players out there, like Neebs, JackFrags, LevelCap, and Matimio, and we got to see a lot of footage of the game in action. Now, I do not have any footage to share with you right now, but I will leave some links to some gameplay footage from these YouTube players in the description below. But I did take a bunch of notes and I wanted to share that with you. So starting off, let's talk about the weapons. We saw a lot of the weapons in the game. We got several new rifles that we've never seen before. We got some semi-automatic rifles, lots of bolt action gameplay here. There's also a lot of full auto rifles that I did not expect to see in a World War I shooter. There was a lot of footage of SMGs in action, lots of heavy machine guns that were not mounted but were instead being carried by players, and it looked like it had a top-mounted drum magazine that you can actually see rotating as you're firing, so that looks pretty cool. I'm wondering if that's going to affect your stamina or your speed at all. We also saw some pistol gameplay. Once again, the 1911 has returned. It's pretty much in every Battlefield game at this point. And it looks like we got some Mauser pistol gameplay in there too. And we also have some new grenades that we've never seen before. Looks like one is a anti-tank grenade that actually has multiple grenades tied together, and a lot of players use that to take out some tanks, so that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I didn't see anything that looked like an RPG though, so I'm curious how you're supposed to be able to take out these hostile armor units. So let's move on and talk about the actual vehicles, including the armor. First off, let's talk about the tanks. We had the Mark IV tank, which has 3 slots you can sit inside. Each one appears to have had a cannon you can operate, 2 on the either side of the vehicle and 1 in the front, so that should be interesting. We haven't had that in Battlefield before. There was also some smaller tanks that had mounted machine guns on top, and supposedly, according to the broadcasters, you can actually repair the tank from the inside. You no longer had to jump out of the tank when it's damaged and try to repair it on foot. However, it does leave your vehicle vulnerable to attack, as you cannot move your vehicle while you're repairing from the inside. So that's going to introduce a very interesting gameplay component to the game. There was also some cars visible in the game, and then they showed a lot of plane footage, though I wasn't actually all that impressed with the planes. From the trailer they showed us, it looked like the planes were moving a lot faster, but in reality they kind of fly very low, very slow, and are shot down pretty easily, and they also appear to not really be finished at all. They seem very early alpha. I saw a lot of planes crashing to the ground and just disappearing, no explosion. Lots of planes just softly hitting the ground despite going at the ground at a high velocity. So we'll see if that gets ironed out by launch. It most likely will. But right now I was not all too impressed with the plane action. Now the airships, on the other hand, now that was cool. The airships really blew my mind. You can actually control these gigantic Zeppelins up in the air. You can sit on the steering wheel and actually pilot the Zeppelins around, so that's going to be a lot of fun to mess with. You can also destroy these Zeppelins. They come down and they will destroy everything in their path. They will absolutely decimate a battlefield, so that's going to be very exciting. It looks like it's going to be the new Siege of Shanghai building collapse, because it's going to happen pretty much every round, I can guarantee it. And it looks like the Zeppelin is only awarded to a team if they're on the losing team. It's a way for them to get back into the battle. But the 3 rounds I watched, it looked like it really did not help any team. Neeb's team lost every single round, and they always had the Zeppelin, so we'll have to see how that plays out and if they fix the balancing. It looks like the Zeppelin right now is not very useful, but it does look really cool. Now, the map that they showed off a pretty small map. It looks pretty big at first, but it's a little misleading because they showed some zoomed out footage of the map, and it appears the center point, the focal point of the map, is that windmill you see on all the trailers and gameplay footage. And other than that, there's only a few buildings surrounding that, and that's it. No Man's Land doesn't appear to be used at all, which is pretty disappointing. I was looking forward to a lot of trench warfare, but it doesn't look like this map's going to really provide us with that. They did, however, introduce something that I am pretty excited about: dynamic weather. This means that whenever you play any of these maps, it'll always be a different experience. You can either have a clear, sunny map, or maybe sometimes a big rainstorm will come in. You don't know, it won't be the same every time. They also showed some gameplay footage of a huge fog rolling into the map, and it really cuts down on sight lines. It makes it so snipers are not as efficient. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to help. I'm hoping they still have many maps and are not going to try to use this dynamic weather as a way of not giving us all the content we actually want. They also talked about some new movement techniques that we have never seen in a Battlefield game before. There is now something called a high vault that will allow you to vault up on high walls. Previously, there was walls that were a little bit too high. You just couldn't do anything but go around it or blow it up. Now you'll be able to actually reach up and pull yourself over walls. This can be an absolute lifesaver, so I'm looking forward to this feature. They also showed off some bayonet charges where a player can actually commit to a charge. He will run a little bit faster than an actual sprint and will go straight for a melee kill. This is going to be a lot of fun, so I'm looking forward to that. They showed some more of the melee, though I still wasn't exactly sure why they keep going on about the melee. I haven't seen anything that seems any different from other Battlefield games yet. Entering and exiting vehicles is now an animation. You no longer are just teleported inside of a vehicle's driver's seat. You can actually watch your character climb into position and get into the tank. This means you won't be able to get into a vehicle and run away very quickly, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And as I said before, you can repair a tank from inside, and you can now throw grenades what appears to be a lot faster. Before, you would actually have to put your gun down and then throw the grenade. Now it looks like he throws the grenade with one hand while keeping his gun up. All the footage I saw of players throwing grenades seemed to be a lot faster than in Battlefield 4. Next up, I wanted to take a moment to talk about Battlefield 1's new UI options. There appears to be a brand new spawn screen. Instead of getting a 2D topographical map, you're going to now actually see the battlefield from a bird's eye view. This will change things a lot. You'll be able to actually see vehicles and players moving around on an actual map. It should make it so you can actually choose a safe place to spawn instead of spawning into death. And it also looks a lot better. It kind of reminds me of how Grand Theft Auto 5 works when you switch characters. In addition to this, like I said earlier, you can enter and exit vehicles now, and there's actually an animation. You can now see yourself getting in and out of vehicles. Health bars are also visible above enemies when you spot them. Hopefully this is only in normal mode, and hardcore mode still does not have any UI elements. And another thing that I saw a lot of people complaining about was the female announcer. Whenever an objective is captured or being captured, a female announcer will speak and let you know. This doesn't seem to really fit though, because it sounds kind of futuristic. I'm hoping they change this and it's just a placeholder, but for now it appears to be what's in the game. And those are all the notes that I have for the Battlefield 1 live stream. If I missed anything, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Thank you for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.